Hello, today we're going to talk about camping in New Zealand. And the reason I'm going to talk about camping is because you're moving to New Zealand or you want to move to New Zealand for the lifestyle. And camping is a huge part of that lifestyle in New Zealand. Just being outdoors is a huge part of the lifestyle. And I had someone email me and say, is camping really that big in New Zealand? And yes, it really is. So this deserved a video all of its own. So sit back, enjoy, and know that when you move to New Zealand, you have got lots of different camping opportunities. We're going to talk about 3 different types of camping that you can do in New Zealand. We're going to talk about camping on a campsite. We're going to talk about going freedom camping, my favourite kind of camping. And then we're going to talk about a relatively new thing to us, glamping. We hadn't actually done this, it's until we came to New Zealand, and it's something we've just discovered. So I'm going to talk to you about glamping too. Camping in New Zealand is absolutely huge. Everything you've heard about camping in New Zealand is true. The Kiwis love to camp, they're geared up to camp, and yeah, you're just going to be camping a lot when you come to New Zealand. The cost of camping on a campsite in New Zealand, for a non-powered site, you're looking about $20, and for a powered site for 2 people, about $50 a night. Like I say, campsite camping, it is massive. Go to a campsite on Christmas Day in New Zealand and honestly, you won't be able to believe it. This site would just be packed with families. It's a massive family thing to go camping. And I have never, ever in my life seen anyone camp like the Kiwis camp. They get a trailer and they just fill it with, I think it's just their house. I think they just put their house in the trailer and go camping. They are set up with barbecues. I think sometimes I see them, they bring like a 3-piece suite. Maybe not that bad, but okay, I want to talk to you about dock campsites in New Zealand. Dock Department of Conservation campsites are always in the most beautiful parts of New Zealand, and they are sort of like in between camping on a campsite and then freedom camping. The facilities are pretty basic, but don't worry about that because literally you're going to be paying about $8 a night per adult and $4 per child. And like I say, this campsite here was just 30 minutes from Wellington, and it's just paradise. You're just in the middle of nowhere. Glamping. Whoa, let's talk about glamping. We paid $80 a night to glamp for the whole family to stay in this yurt. And it was just such a fabulous experience. If you've never been glamping, make sure you do. Brian and I went glamping in the Coromandel in the winter, and for this site, you're going to be paying about $70 a night. Where you're going to be staying. We stayed under the stars. We just lit a fire outside. It was in the middle of winter. Oh, you couldn't hear a sound. It was idyllic. We actually stayed in an old converted bus, and inside it had a wood burner, and it was just so lovely and warm. And like I say, it was just beautiful. Such a unique experience. Okay, let's talk about freedom camping. Now, I don't want you to think that you can turn up in New Zealand and just pitch a tent wherever you want. This is what we did. And before it went dark, we got moved on. So here we are putting all this effort and then we got moved on. So you will clearly see signs around New Zealand that tell you where you cannot freedom camp. But as many times as you'll see the sites that say you can't freedom camp, you will see the glorious sites that say you can freedom camp. But to freedom camp in New Zealand, you must be self-contained. Now, freedom campsites around New Zealand, some come with loos, and some, in fact most do, and they're really, really clean. I mean, we were just so impressed with this one down in the South Island. If you've never freedom camped before in New Zealand, let me just be clear, it's absolutely free. Okay, freedom camping is free. Look at that view. I'm going to talk to you about a couple of apps that you need to put on your phone if you're going to be freedom camping. They're called Rankers and Campermate, and they are the best apps ever for camping. As you can see, you just put in your location and it shows you everything around you, how much they cost, you know, which ones are free and which aren't. This site, I cannot recommend it highly enough. We went in the middle of winter. If you're going to go in the summer, I would suggest you get there early and get your place. Just be respectful when you're freedom camping. Here's us, because Brian and Tess were so cold. Like I say, it was the middle of the winter. But yeah, be respectful. Take your rubbish with you. You're allowed to light fires at certain times of the year. Just keep that nice and contained. This lake, people come from all around the world because that photo that you're looking at now is unfiltered. It's a photographer's dream. You wake up in the morning, you make your little bacon sandwiches or whatever, or light your fire, and look, that is your view. Brian's going to talk to you about this later in the videos, but if you have got a caravan or a motorhome and you want to bring it over to New Zealand, do it. The roads are just set up. In fact, everywhere is set up for camping in New Zealand. Whatever you choose to do, however you choose to camp in New Zealand, you are going to love it.
I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you next time.